We're looking at part A, using audio clips. And the purpose of showing you how to use audio clips is so that you have something that you can try, even if just to spark off ideas. Sometimes you may have a lot of ideas already. Oh, I want to write this song. I got this melody in my head. You want to put it down. That's great. But sometimes if you're sitting in the class, you're saying, okay, I'm a bit stuck at the moment. I don't have a melody in my head. Get inspired by these things which are available to you. So since I know that the majority of you downloaded Build and Drop, I'll use Build and Drop as an example, but for all the other packs, you can use the same idea. Yes? Oh, okay. No, careful when you raise your hands because I think you're asking me a question. If you're at an auction, that means you bought the thing, okay? It's sold to the person in the blue t-shirt. Yeah, this painting by Van Gogh for $25 million. So here I'm in Build and Drop. And so how do I get to Build and Drop? I go to packs, right? In my packs, Build and Drop has been installed. And then I'm going to go down to the samples and loops. There's so many subcategories. I'm not going to explore all of them. Yes. Some of you just realize, oh my goodness, there's a lot, right? Loops. There's drum loops. Well, even among drum loops, there's so many different kinds. And then music loops. So I'm going to go to music loops. So I don't ask you to download things for nothing, okay? There is a purpose. Let's just take the first one. This Bass Acid 128. And it's D, which means that it's in the key of D. I need to drag this into an empty audio track. Here's an empty audio track. I'm going to drag it on. And if you remember, if I move my mouse to the right side of the clip, it becomes a square bracket, which means I can stretch it out. So I'm going to stretch it out for, say, 16 bars, which means you'll reach the number 17 and stop. I've stretched out this thing for 16 bars. So let's start from the beginning. Press the stop twice to start from the beginning. Hey, it's so annoying. Switch off the metronome. Now I don't need metronome because it has its own timing. Interesting, huh? Wow, somebody already came out with a bass line. It's maybe not the most exciting bass line, but it's something. So now, if you click on the clip, on the colorful part, you will notice in the detail view now, there are a whole bunch of stuff, right? The whole bunch of stuff. And on page 3, I've actually given you blank so that you can write in what these various buttons mean. If I had printed it in for you, it won't make any sense for you, but you should write in your own words. Got pen? You can write in. Okay, so now this is my clip, right? I'm going to loop it, make sure that it continues playing around by itself by going right-click, loop selection, okay? Right-click, loop selection. So now the loop is formed around these 16 bars. It will play these 16 bars. The first button, if you look at para 5, I'm going to press is the REV button. What does the REV button do? It makes it reverse. Sounds quite like a rude sound, right? Somebody had like too much onions for breakfast. So let's reverse it back. So that's what the reverse button does. It reverses. Next, we look at the transpose knob. This is a knob because you can go up and down. You can click on it and on the number and you press the arrows. So it makes the note of it change by semitones. And afterwards, I'll show you how you can use this transpose button to make different loops fit with each one another. If you have a mouse, you can actually use your mouse to go up and down the knob. You can go really high. Okay, that's the transpose. It changes the note. C is the volume slider. This volume slider, you can see right now it's 0 dB. Let's say I think it is too loud. It's getting distorted. I can pull the volume, use my mouse to pull it down. And it's not distorted anymore. But let's say I want it to be distorted. I want that really hardcore, heavy sound. Distort it, turn it up. See, it's distorting now. Bad. Don't. I can also, instead of using the mouse, I can use the up and down arrow key. Okay, so that's the volume slider. Detune, this little thing here. Okay, you must compare this with transpose. Transpose, if I just change one, it is by a fixed note. Detune will change it in between notes. Now, this is a very subtle change. If you can actually hear, it has gone in between notes now. It is neither the first note nor the next note. It is in between notes. It's a bit wrong already. So why would you want to use detune? If you want to use detune when you have a sample which is a bit off, it is not exactly on a note, then you can detune it to the correct tune. Next trick, you see this, divide by 2 and multiply by 2. Divide by 2 and multiply by 2. This one, the one on the left, makes it double speed. To change it back, you press the other one. Because the other one makes it half speed. If you press it twice, it will make it 1/4 speed. You can also make it back to normal, pressing the left side. Double speed, 4 times speed, 8 times speed. Fun? Now, there is, you begin to get the idea, the warp. You must leave the warp button on because the warp button is what makes it follow your tempo. So if you hear the tempo is on, it goes. Yeah, it's an offbeat bass. You didn't realize it, right? It's an offbeat bass. So if I change my tempo when warp is on, the loop will also change tempo. I slow down the tempo and the loop also slow down tempo. I increase the tempo. On the other hand, if warp is not on, it won't follow. Which means that if I change the thing, It's not following already. When I make the tempo slower, it's not following. So I must have walk on. I better go back to the original timing, which was 128. 128, and then switch the walk back on. Walk. Do I want to keep the timing? Yes, walk. Okay. Phew. There we go. I kind of messed up the thing. Okay, there we go. Walk. There are different kinds of walk mode. If you click on this thing, beats, tones, texture, you don't have to worry about this now. But if you drag in a clip from somewhere else and it wasn't automatically walked, you might want to choose what kind of sample it is, whether it's beats or tones. Beats meaning boom chak, tones meaning dong 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 dong, texture meaning wah, okay? Complex meaning everything else, or everything inside. Last two things, G and H. Okay, G and H. You're going to see this. What did I do? I just messed myself up. Don't worry. When I mess myself, I just drag in another one. There we go. Oh, look, I dragged in a more fancy one. The second one, base alkaline. Oh yeah, the first one is acid, second one is alkaline. Then they should have a third one called neutral, pH. Chemistry students laugh. Everybody else doesn't get it. Now this, how long is this loop? Can anybody see on the alkaline one? Can you see how long this loop is? It's actually, this is one measure, this is two measures, this is three measures, this is four measures. It's 4 bars long. It is 4 bars long because right? 4 bars long. I can actually, instead of holding or playing the whole thing, I decide I only want the right? So what I do is I can move these triangles. I move these triangles, and now I end up with a loop that is all ooh. Okay, maybe I want it a bit longer. Okay, I loop the different part of the loop instead. By changing where these little triangles are, I can actually decide which part of the loop I want, if I don't want the whole thing. And this way I can have a totally different sound from what the original one sounded like. So that's your loop position and loop length. Using the little triangles here, move around so that you get a different loop, part of the loop. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is make a copy of this clip. Okay, I'm going to go back to the original length, which was, I can't even remember what it is now. Okay, I will drag this one. I'm going to make a copy of the clip using the amazing function called edit copy. And I'm going to paste a copy of this clip using the amazing function called edit paste. I'm going to color them differently by right click and change the different color so that I can tell the difference. So my second one is a brighter green. First one is darker green. Now second one, Okay, the first one is in G. The second one, I want to transpose it to D. Now, if I look at this diagram and I want to go from G to D, how many steps do I need to go down? From G down to D. So all the music theory people say perfect fifth, but can you tell me how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down. G down to D. Minus 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, minus 5. Okay. So when I play the whole thing, it sounds like. I'm going to make another copy. Copy, paste. I'm going to make a different color. This time I'm going to make it blue. This one, I'm going to make it, instead of D, I'm going to make it A. From G to A, how many steps do I need to go up? Using this diagram, G to A, how many steps do I need to go up? 2. Okay, I'm going to move 2. 1, 2. And then I'm going to copy the G back again and paste it at the end. So now I actually have 4 in a row. I have I actually now have a 16 bar progression of 4 chords. A G, a D, a A, and a G. It's a 4 chord song. Right? That's 1 chord more than any Chainsmokers. Just kidding. So you can do that too. Please go ahead and try. Just try with that one clip. Just try.